Did Star Trek Voyager's 7 of 9 have Borg powers? Did 7 of 9 Jerry Ryan have any special Borg powers in Star Trek Voyager? Many of Star Trek's alien characters have special abilities that set them apart from humans. Star Trek, the original series, started this trend by establishing Vulcan's telepathic abilities with Mr. Spock, Leonard Nimoy. Star Trek, the Next Generation characters with superpowers like the empathic half-betazoid counselor Deanna Troi, Marina Sirtis, outnumber those without. Even humans can have enhanced abilities with the aid of technology, like Lieutenant Commander Geordi Law Forge's LeVar Burton visor, granting him the ability to see much more of the electromagnetic spectrum. Of course, there's no better example of a tech-enhanced organic being in Star Trek than the Borg. Beginning in Star Trek Voyager Season 4, X-Drone's 7 of 9 provided insight into the previously inscrutable Borg. According to 7, the Borg prized efficiency in their quest for perfection. Starfleet methods, like research and communication, were inefficient when the Borg could simply use their technology to understand alien societies. Assimilated Borg drones were physically changed to become more perfect and more efficient, and in return, the Borg spread the knowledge of assimilated cultures throughout the collective. Because 7 of 9's Borg implants couldn't be completely removed, 7 retained Borg traits that optimized her body for efficiency. With an enhanced muscular system, heart, and lungs, 7 of 9 had greater strength and stamina than her human counterparts. 7 was immune to certain types of radiation deadly to other USS Voyager crew members in Star Trek Voyager's cast, and she resisted injury more easily. Instead of sleeping, 7 regenerated in a Borg alcove, so she healed relatively quickly. 7's ocular implant gave her better vision, including the ability to see irregularities in spacetime. 7 of 9's latent connection to the Borg collective could also be considered a power in its own right. Memories from the collective made 7 a de facto guide to Borg space, though Captain Catherine Janeway, Kate Mulgrew, didn't always agree with 7's guidance. 7 of 9's Borg nanoprobes, usually used in the assimilation process, could be modified to help others, giving Star Trek Voyager an easy narrative solution to difficult problems. Borg adaptability meant 7 could also connect with other technologies via her Borg implants, like hosting the Doctor's Robert Picardo program. 7 of 9 is such a great Star Trek character because of how she's written, and the character arc that's inspired by other Star Trek outsiders. Like Spock, LT Commander Data Brent Spiner, and Odo Renee Auberjonois before her, 7 of 9 is a Star Trek character who can easily comment on humanity because of her outside perspective. 7's relationship to her humanity is almost as fraught as Spock's, but Janeway's insistence and the Doctor's guidance push 7 of 9 towards reclaiming what makes her human instead of rejecting it for perceived Borg superiority. 7 of 9's Borg superpowers are a small part of 7 of 9's Star Trek Voyager character arc, but they matter to 7's development through her Star Trek story. When 7 returns in Star Trek Picard, 7 confesses to feeling the constant reminder of how her visible Borg parts set her apart from humanity, no matter how much she tries to fit in. 7 of 9's Borg past and powers break down 7's belief in her superiority instead of fueling it, like they did on Star Trek Voyager, so 7 can reconstruct her confidence on her own terms. In Star Trek Voyager, one of the most iconic characters introduced after the show's early seasons was 7 of 9, played by Jerry Ryan. 7 of 9, or simply 7, was a former Borg drone who was liberated from the collective by Captain Janeway and the crew of the USS Voyager. 7's journey of rediscovering her humanity and integrating into the crew of Voyager became one of the central narratives of the show. But throughout her time on the series, one question that often arises is, did 7 of 9 retain any Borg powers after her separation from the collective? To answer that, we need to delve into her background as a drone, her physical enhancements, and her residual connection to the Borg. 7's history as a Borg-born Annika Hansen, 7 of 9 was assimilated into the Borg at a young age along with her parents, who were scientists studying the collective. Once part of the hive mind, Annika became known as 7 of 9, tertiary adjunct of Unimatrix 01. She lived as a Borg drone for most of her life, losing much of her individual identity as she became part of the larger collective consciousness of the Borg. When Captain Janeway decided to rescue Seven and use her to help the Voyager crew infiltrate a Borg cube, a plan that led to Seven's eventual liberation from the collective, the process wasn't entirely clean-cut. While many of her external Borg components were surgically removed to restore her more human appearance, certain Borg enhancements remained. These enhancements would prove to be essential tools for Seven during her time aboard Voyager. Borg enhancements and abilities. Though 7 of 9 was no longer part of the Borg collective, she retained a number of the biological and technological enhancements that had been implanted in her body during her time as a drone. These were, in many ways, the powers she still possessed. 1. Enhanced strength and stamina. The Borg are known for their physically augmented drones, and 7 retained some of this strength even after her separation. In various episodes, we see that 7 of 9 exhibits far greater physical prowess than ordinary humans. This made her an asset during combat situations, as her augmented strength allowed her to overpower opponents, lift objects that others could not, and endure physical stress that would incapacitate her crewmates. In Star Trek Voyager, it is clear that her Borg implants gave her a significant advantage in terms of both endurance and physical resilience. 2. Cranial implants and multitasking. One of the most distinctive aspects of 7 of 9's appearance is her cranial implant, which is both a reminder of her Borg past and a functional piece of technology. This implant provided her with enhanced cognitive abilities, including an extraordinary capacity for data processing. 7 could perform complex calculations, analyze vast amounts of data in seconds, and multitask with the efficiency of a computer. Her enhanced cognitive abilities often came in handy when she worked on repairing the ship, decoding alien languages, or modifying technologies. These abilities made her somewhat detached and clinical, often leading to tension between her and more emotionally driven members of the crew. But there's no doubt that her augmented mind allowed her to operate at a level far beyond human capabilities. 3. Nanoprobes. One of 7 of 9's most remarkable retained Borg abilities was her control over nanoprobes. These microscopic machines, originally implanted in her body as part of her assimilation, could be used to repair tissue, fight infections, and modify technology. Throughout the series, 7's nanoprobes became a valuable resource, allowing her to perform medical miracles in some cases. For example, in the episode The Raven, 7's nanoprobes reactivate a Borg transponder within her, signaling the possibility of reassimilation. In other episodes, her nanoprobes are used to help heal injuries and cure diseases. In one notable case, they were even used to resurrect a crew member who had been killed. While 7 herself was not consciously controlling the nanoprobes, they were nevertheless part of her arsenal of biological tools, a leftover from her time as a Borg drone. 4. Residual connection to the collective. Although 7 of 9 was no longer part of the Borg collective, she maintained a residual connection to it. This was portrayed as both a benefit and a curse. On the one hand, her knowledge of the collective's inner workings made her an invaluable resource when dealing with the Borg. On the other hand, this connection often caused her emotional and psychological distress. For instance, in episodes like The Gift and The Raven, 7 struggles with the lingering influence of the collective, including the temptation to rejoin it. Additionally, in the episode Scorpion Part 2, 7 briefly reestablished a link with the Borg collective as part of an alliance,